Hello and welcome to the Booksplosion Chain of Gold live show. Today we are going to be talking about all things Chain of Gold, the first book in Cassie's new trilogy, The Last Hours. It takes place after the Infernal Devices series. You can read it without reading the other books, but you should really read the Infernal Devices. Like, in theory, you can read it before then, but the Infernal Devices are really important to know for background in terms of like loving it as much as you can love it. And yeah, so we're gonna start off with our non-spoilery thoughts, so you don't have to leave yet if you haven't read the book. And we're gonna do some housekeeping real quick first. Let you know that next month we are going to be reading The June Boys. We're working with Harper next month, and The June Boys is a true crime thriller. Does someone want to give a little baby synopsis? Someone?
Basically, there's this guy that every June he kidnaps boys and holds them for a year and then releases them back into the world, and he's yet to be caught. We follow this girl, and her cousin has been taken, and she is trying to get down to the bottom of it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice job. See, you're so hesitant. And then our main book of the month is We Are the Wildcats by SIOBHAN. Oh my god, I can always forget how to say SIOBHAN the right way. SIOBHAN. VIVIAN. Oh my gosh. I've looked that up so many times. I'm like, okay, I've got it forever. And then I look at it and my mind's like, how? Okay, so We Are the Wildcats is a mystery thriller as well. It takes place in 24 hours. We see from 6 different perspectives, and it's about a field hockey team, I think, and it's more focused on their coach is toxic and something has happened. It's deeply suspenseful. I haven't read it, and I haven't memorized the synopsis because it sounds like something that's going to be really exciting, and I didn't want to know any more than I already know. Do you guys have anything to add on a synopsis that I didn't say?
I don't have something to add, but I do want to say that book comes out on Tuesday.
It does! Yeah, I'm excited to read this one. I love like a 24-hour period book. They're so much fun to read. Like the last one I read, I think, is
yeah, no, they're the perfect book to binge in a single day. Like to sit down and like fly through it.
Yeah, yeah. And our next tiered Booksplosion is April 15th. Here, we're going to be talking about something we haven't decided yet. Right now, the topic we had written down when we wrote down our topics at the end of last year was rain and weather. So we're going to narrow that down to something a little more discussable.
Yes.
And yeah, we're going to jump into Chain of Gold now. Who wants to kick us off with your non-spoilery thoughts? Jesse?
Sure. I will. I'm not prepared, but I will do it. So I really enjoyed this. I knew that I was going to enjoy it because like I love every Shadowhunter book basically. And it was just really nice being back in like with some characters that I love, like Will and Tessa, and kind of seeing what their lives are like now, and seeing their children and whatnot. I can't say that it's my favorite first book from Cassie, but I still really liked it. I just feel like it was frustrating because of certain situations. Mainly a character was really frustrating, and that made it like not as enjoyable because I'm just like, can you go away kind of a situation. But I still loved it, and I feel like it was also just like a lot more dark compared to her other first books. Like a lot of her other first books are kind of like, I don't know, they're like more fun, like getting to know the crew and seeing the crew hang out and stuff. Like we still had those moments, but just not as much, I felt like. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time as always. So Catty-tastic, what are your thoughts?
Okay. I mean, I really enjoyed it too. I loved it. It did take me a little bit longer than it might have taken for you guys to get into it, or maybe for Christine to get into it, because I haven't read a lot of the short stories. So like I hadn't met a lot of these characters before. So when I first started, I did have a little trouble. Like, okay, Thomas is the tall, buff one. It took me a minute to like kind of picture who everyone was and their relationships to each other. Like I had to keep referencing my notes of like who was the descendant of who, because I kept like getting confused. I was like, wait, who's cousins? Like, are you all, what's going on? But once I got into it and I got to know them a little bit better, then it was just like Shadowhunter fun. I enjoyed it so much. I got to know these characters, and I now love them all so much. And I can't wait to see where this series goes. I want it now. I don't want to wait another year for book 2 and another 2 years for book 3. Like, I need to know what happens.
Yeah. You guys probably already know that I loved it. I feel like I've talked about it so much. I love Chain of Gold so much. I had so much fun reading it until the end where I got really mad and frustrated. But up until then, I was having just like the best time ever. And I loved all the new characters. I obviously read all the short stories and was already, you know, really excited to see them interact. Because even in the short stories, we don't really get to see them all together. We see them like kind of separately before this, earlier on in their lives, like middle school years almost. It feels like, and I'm so excited for more. I'm really sad that we don't have it already. I just wanted to keep reading and get past this frustrating bit. Because Cassie likes to leave us being like very strongly feeling one emotion or another. And the emotion here is frustration. And I don't want to spoil anything. So it's hard to go any further without spoiling.
Yeah, I think at this point with Shadowhunter books, like we just got to get to the spoilers. Like, what more can we say in a non-spoilery section to convince you at this point?
Yeah, I mean, you should read it. It's great. All Cassie's books are great. And now we're going to talk spoilers. So our kickoff question today is, what was the standout, your favorite / standout moment in the book? Pick one that stands out as your like, moment.
I don't know if this really counts, but I just loved when Magnus showed up.
Me too!
It was just like a nice moment, and like seeing Matthew like freak out and like wanting to talk to him about waistcoats, I think it would have.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just great, and it was just nice to see Magnus again.
It was really adorable and hysterical, and everything with Magnus in it is so much better.
No, he just like, he's a scene stealer. Scene stealer.
Yeah, he brightens a room.
Yeah.
In all the ways.
Yes.
What about you, Kat?
Okay, I don't know. No, I have the moment. The kiss, the James and Cordelia kiss when they were.
The kisses.
When they were pretending.
When they were making it in the whisper room.
I mean, they're like making out an empty, like no one else is there, guys. Like who are you pretending for?
We weren't. That's the point.
I have another shout out scene that I want to say, and that is the flashback between Alistair and Thomas, because before that point,
that too.
we didn't really know either of them that well. Like we kind of spent a lot of time with them, and then seeing that scene, I was just like, oh, okay, I like this quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Christine, what was yours?
Alistair, because he had like big Draco Malfoy energy. So I was like really into that.
Okay, I'm gonna just talk about one that I haven't talked about yet, because we haven't really talked about the scene, the Pisces on the bridge scene, but I thought that was a really interesting battle sequence, because we rarely see our Shadowhunters kind of think they did something and then like fail at it, you know, like they like either instantly fail or not, and they're like, oh, we did it, we got it in the Pisces, and Thomas is like, I don't think we did. Then it like explodes.
Right.
And I loved when Lucy was running after Cordelia. And I love when Cordelia was saving James, and then Lucy is running to save Cordelia, and she parts the sea and gets all the dead people to like help Cordelia out of the river. That was so cool.
That was an awesome scene.
Yeah, and then like she didn't understand what's going on. She was like, "Oh, Jesse did this," and I was like, "No, that was you dumbass." But I love Lucy, and I can't wait to see more of her and Cordelia being Parvati.
This person says their favorite scene was when Cordelia danced.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, throw your favorite scenes at us. I love that scene too.
Yeah,
I love the last scene when Matthew talked to Magnus. I thought that was a really nice little chat.
Yeah.
I loved when Cordelia went through the other world with Cordelia.
Oh yeah, that was very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many great ones.
The tea scene. I love the tea scene too. I love tea.
That was really fun.
Okay, can I address real quick? I'm going to address the family tree that everyone and their mom in the comments of my book talk has to decided to like be like, Christine, have you not heard that Cassie said that this isn't accurate? Like, I've heard it 1,000 times, but this was still written down, which means it still holds some ground, and there's still a lot of accurate clues in here to what's happening right now. You can't use it like verbatim, but you can use it to theorize all you want. Theories are theories, yo. And I will continue to worship this until we get
I don't know. This just made me confused and frustrated.
Oh my God, this made me so excited. Every time something didn't line up, I was like, ooh.
One of the first things I saw was like, okay, who the hell is Colette Verlac? And like,
we don't know her. Who's she?
I think that was just like something that's changed since then because she hadn't wrote the book yet.
Maybe.
Yeah, but then like what else? And then like some age, some like year differences between
years could be off. Like I mean, like imagine writing this before you wrote the series and like being like, oh,
that's totally what I get. I'm just frustrated because I'm like, what is a deliberate hint and what is something that changed over the evolution of the story?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's both. You know, I'm sure it's a combination.
Like, well, how can you form theories when I don't know? Like, I'm forming a theory off of something that's like for sure changed or something that actually is a clue.
Yeah, well, that's the fun of theories. They don't have to be right.
My theories have to be right.
Well, then you'll never make any theories.
Exactly.
The best theories come out of the stupid theories, and then you realize there's a theory in the stupid theory that can turn into a really great theory.
I'm still sad that our great theory about Izzy and her eyes was like,
and Izzy being a legitimate child of Valentine Morgenstern,
oh my gosh,
who has gone down in infamy.
We were so excited. We really thought we had something.
I still think it could have been viable.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, let's go back to my little outline here. Okay, so we're gonna play a quick game to like talk about other scenes, but also to have a game where each of us will say a line of dialogue from the book, and then the other two of us have to guess who said it. And if you guys don't guess, we'll throw it to the audience to guess. So guys, don't tell them the answers until they're failing. Okay, but you'll probably get it. And you guys can obviously play too, but just like, don't yell it out immediately. Or you guys just don't look at the chat.
I feel like I'm gonna be so bad at this.
Okay, it's not that hard. Ready? This one's an easy one, okay? The leader seemed to feel it was an old friend of James' grandfather.
Silence.
I know what follows this. The demon-y one or the... And then he's like, yes, of course, the demon-y one.
Who would say that?
Matthew.
Yeah!
Point for Kitten.
Point for Kitten and classically cool prods. I love that scene too. I think that was a really fun battle when they all went to help James because they knew that those Cerebus demons were chasing after Grace. Lots of good interactions up in there.
I really like that, the line that came after it, the demon-y one. Like, yes, the demon-y one.
Like, obviously. Okay, someone else say a line.
I'll do one next.
Okay.
I will seduce.
Matthew.
Wait, Kat, what did you say?
Anna.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anna, Matthew.
We're talking about the plan to go and get the Pixis. Is that how you say it? Pixis?
Yeah, the Pisces. I don't know. I call it a Pisces, but
whatever it's called.
Okay, before we go on, can I just say that I have been reading Adrian's name since those short stories, and I dyslexically read it as Adrian.
Yeah, I was watching.
I had no idea that there was any way that I could possibly be saying it wrong. And people in the comments were like, "Do you mean like Ariadne or something?" I don't even know what I mean.
I don't know how to say that name. Is it Ariadne? Is what
Ariadne?
I listened to the audiobook and I can't even remember.
Ariadne?
Ariadne?
Ariane, I don't know, but I like.
I was saying
I wrote it in words on my book talk, and it just says Adrian. Like I literally thought it was Adrian. I read the book with my eyes. I thought it was Adrian. The character in Inception has the same name, Ariadne.
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 Okay. I think that sounds right. Ariadne.
Ariadne.
Oh, I can't remember now. It's like
I haven't done something this bad since Petra.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Ariadne.
Ariadne.
Ariadne. This up the whole time. Reference it. Okay.
Okay, so anyway. Adrian is Ariadne if you watch my book talk, and I'm sorry. And apparently I did it for Alistair too. His name's not Alistair.
Wait, it's not?
Alistair?
Okay, somebody
Alistair? Alistair. Oh my gosh, now I'm confused.
You spelled it differently, but
okay, maybe I just spelled it differently.
Alistair? What?
Chat.
Oh my god.
Alistair. But anyway, okay.
Kat, does Kat want to do it?
Okay, I have a line.
It's Alistair Carstairs? That's kind of weird.
Or Carstairs. Okay. I trust you'll have a more pleasant time.
Magnus?
No.
Do we both do Magnus?
You said Magnus. Jesse, what did you say?
Oh, I said Matthew.
Oh, no, you're both wrong.
Is it
James?
James? Yeah.
It is, but do you have any idea what the context is?
I kind of vaguely do. I'm trying to place it. But I can't, so.
James to Matthew about something? I don't know.
Not Matthew, but you're kind of close. It was James when Thomas was saying he wanted to go to that one hotel in Paris, and Matthew was like, Oscar Wilde died there, and James was like,
That's a good one.
I love how he was obsessed with Oscar Wilde. Okay, here's another one. The romance is never over.
Oh, you guys froze for me.
Lucy?
No. But close.
Close!
Oh, okay, I'll just tell you. Yeah, it was James, and it was when Will and Tessa were like, we're gonna go have some time together and then do this or something. And then James was like, the romance, he's like, when the romance is over, we'll see you in here. And the romance is never over.
Are you okay, Jesse?
Jesse?
Wait, oh my god. There you are. You guys were skipping so bad. It was scary.
Oh man.
So I guess I didn't get that one.
No, it was James. Do you have one for us?
Yeah. We cannot spend our lives hiding in our house, blank. We must make friends.
What's it, Cordelia?
Yeah.
Yeah, to her.
Alistair as they're going to the picnic or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I like the picnic too. I love when everyone came over to her basket and started eating all the food.
Well, also, Cordelia is a little scheming, which I thought was really fun because, she had gotten intel from Lucy that, there were, certain foods
right.
that brought, and she was like, oh, come share our lemon tarts.
She got all their favorites. Yeah. But that was smart. She's like really smart, Cordelia. That's one of the things I really like about her. She does stuff and she's already thought about it before you know that she's thought about it, you know, like, and I like how that's revealed even there, because at first she just brought a ton of food and then they're all like, oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. And then she's like, yeah, Lucy. Okay. Do we want to do them around?
Is it my, well, I still have one more for this.
Okay, go ahead.
Gracious, what is the meaning of all this unbridled affection?
Oh my God, I have this one down too.
Right.
It's James, and it's after the Will and Tessa have spent some time with Sophie and Gideon after Barbara has passed. Really sad. Yeah. How did you guys feel about Barbara dying? Were you just like, huh?
Wow. But I also
I didn't really know her.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I felt more for her parents, for like Sophie. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really know Barbara, but we know Gideon and Sophie, and we know, you know, Christopher and Thomas, and it's really upsetting.
Yeah, I'm more so bad for Christopher and Thomas more than anything.
Yeah. I love how, like, you kind of see their sibling and cousin bonds come out more at certain points.
Yeah.
Like when Christopher is like, don't you dare say anything about Anna, you know, like,
someone said in the family tree she's not supposed to be dead.
Yeah, I mean, but she is. Surprise!
It's all lies.
Kat, it's inaccurate. You can't go by those dates.
Yeah, but then you can't go by anything.
Well, you can go by something.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Because some of them are going to be real. It's a toss-up. You have to figure out what is and what isn't. It's part of the game.
It's a frustrating game. I feel like I can't win. I don't know the rules.
It's the best kind of game. You make your own rules.
One more round?
Yeah, one more round? Okay.
Sounds good.
Let me see what we've got here. One more round. Cordelia, you look different. I said it differently than they would have said it.
Matthew?
Yeah, it's when she's all dressed up and she's like, reveal, makeover dresses.
Big reveal.
Cordelia, you look different. Like, beautiful different. And then Anna's like, she looks stunning, okay?
Okay, this one is, you know she hates you and her father. Oh, your father, I mean.
It's Cordelia? No, it's Matthew? No, it's Thomas.
You know,
No.
you and your father. It's Grace.
Yeah.
Hey there.
I didn't really write this down, but I think it's when she's scheming to like burn the house down potentially.
That was so annoying. That's when everything went wrong on my not went wrong, but that's when my brain went crazy. Like,
She's the worst.
Okay, this one might be too easy. Should I choose a different one?
Yeah.
I'm your pair of body, you nitwit.
It's Matthew.
Yeah. You know when?
Yes, it is. It's when James is like coming up from his, like, he was asleep. He was out. He was knocked out. It was after Grace, right?
It was after he died, or he was dying.
Oh yeah, it's that one. He died.
Saw the Jesse ghost, and he was like, "Who are you?" And Matthew was like, "I'm your pair of body."
Oh yeah, that was a good moment. That's when I was like too far in to take notes, and I was just reading. I didn't write down that was funny. Oh man. Okay. So that was fun, guys. Now it's time to rank this book amongst the other first books of Cassie's. What you guys feeling?
Oh.
Let me write this down.
I don't need to write it.
There's only like 3 or 4.
There's 4 technically, because the are you counting the Magnus trilogy?
Oh,
or
I'm
not?
not counting that one.
No,
But I
Dark Artifices.
See, the thing is that Lady Midnight is like an amazing first book.
Yeah, Lady Midnight was really, really good.
Yeah, it was like perfect story arc for like setting us up, but also feeling really satisfying. Like the climactic scene was amazing. Like,
and this one was great, but it wasn't quite as climactic as like there was a lot more. Like we had our climax, and then the ending felt kind of long as we were like setting up other stuff and like getting ready for this whole trilogy.
Yeah, with Lady Midnight, it almost felt like it could be self-contained. Almost, like the climactic scene was so big that it could be like the finale of something. People are saying Lady Midnight, City of Bones, City of Angels, then Chain of Gold. Whoa, you did not like Chain of Gold. I thought it was a really good first book. I thought it's second for me.
I would say it's third for me. So Lady Midnight, Clockwork Angel, then Chain of Gold.
See, I need to reread the Infernal Devices series. I only read it once when it first came out.
Right.
So like, and especially now, like part of my attachment to this and the Dark Artifices is that I know a lot of the characters. And so I'm already like pre-invested before picking it up. So I wonder if I reread the Dark Artifices, the Infernal Devices, if I would like that even more now that I'm like much more familiar with everyone.
Right.
I reread Clockwork Angel, and I just feel like it feels like the first book in that like the climactic scene isn't as big. Like it's just I love it, but it feels like we're setting up all these characters, and we really needed to. It was kind of like the first time we've been back here.
Right.
There was a lot to set up, but like when you read City of Bones, like there's a lot she's trying to set up in that book, and that feels more like a first book to enter the Shadow Underworld. Like this doesn't to me because there's so many ties, there's so many lines, and so many characters that it feels like you really need the basis of the Infernal Devices to jump in. Okay, so your complete ranking, Jesse, tell it to us.
Okay, Lady Midnight, Clockwork Angel, Chain of Gold. What's left?
City of Glass.
City of Bones.
No, it's City of Fallen Angels and City of Bones.
Do we count City of Fallen Angels as a separate book? It's book 4.
No, it's part of a new trilogy, and that's why people always say like it went on City of Fallen Angels, but it's because he's setting up a new trilogy. That didn't come out for years after.
So I would say then City of Bones, City of Fallen Angels.
Okay.
I would put Fallen Angels above Bones.
Me too.
Right.
I love Fallen Angels.
Yeah, Fallen Angels was really fun.
It was like getting a new Harry Potter book, like it was over. And then it was announced that there's more, and we got City of Fallen Angels, and it was so much fun. So
someone in the comments says, I think the first book of the Wicked Powers is gonna jump all of them.
We'll see.
When is the Wicked Powers set to come out?
It's set
4 years from now.
Yeah. I thought it was 22, but I don't know.
Yeah, it might be 22. Wait, no, it's not 22 because we're getting the last book in 22.
So maybe 23 or 24.
Yeah, we're scheduled for March 2021 and March 2022 for this. But then Cassandra book is coming out in fall 2021.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. I was just creeping on Cassie's Tumblr because I was like, now I can read her spoilery post that I finished the book.
Yeah, so many people like reference her Tumblr in my comments. Like, didn't you see this on her Tumblr? I'm like, I'm not on her Tumblr. I don't want to see any spoilers. Maybe it originally was 2022, and now that things have been pushed back, we're scheduled a year after. Someone said Goodreads says 2022.
Yeah, like this is supposed to come out in December, so she's been doing like a December thing.
Yeah,
but then it got so.
I am so excited for more of this series, though. Like
me too.
These characters are so much fun, and they have their own little gang, and it's just the best. Okay, now, what were we talking about? Oh, ranking. Okay, let's talk about ships. There are so many ships going on. Who are you shipping the hardest?
I mean, the obvious one.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
we're
obviously James.
and James, and we want Grace to die in a fiery pit of fire. Or do you?
Here's the thing about Grace. Okay, I'm not as frustrated with her as you guys are.
Why not?
Because I think that there's more going on. Like, I think
There is more going on, but I still hate her.
that's valid. That's fair. But I'm thinking of it from the perspective of she's been adopted by this woman who abuses her and is meddling with dark arts and is keeping her isolated and locked up. And James is her only friend. And like, obviously she's awful and she's doing horrible, awful things, but it doesn't seem like she's doing it. Like, she's not getting any joy out of doing mean things. She's doing it as a way to like survive. So I don't hate her. I mean, I do kind of hate her. Like, she's
There
terrible.
was like 3 people that tried to like defend her in the comments like you just did. And I was like, shut up, I hate her.
I'm just saying, but also we have the whole, like, I'm a little bit confused about what exactly is going on with, I mean, it's part of the mystery. Like, we don't know yet, like what's going on with the bracelet and everything. Because she took it off of him. And when she put it back on, like, she did it because she needed him to destroy something. So I wonder if there's like more than just that reason for destroying the house.
I think she has an agreement. They have agreements with people in the underworld, and they need James to do so.
My other thing is like, or Tatiana did have evidence that was going to ruin James, and so that's why she had James burn down the house to get rid of the evidence.
No, I think that was part of their plan.
But why did she turn on Tatiana at the end and be like, Cordelia must be right?
No, I think that was part of Tatiana's plan.
I don't know. I don't think Grace likes Tatiana very much. I don't think they're in cahoots. I think Grace loved her brother.
Well, okay, did you read the story?
Probably not.
The Midnight Air. Because this is what has changed my whole, like, made me hate her so much, like an extreme amount. Because if you read the story of The Midnight Air, she, like, Magnus is like, when Tatiana's not there, he's like, if you need help, like, let me help you. Like, I can get you out of here. And she was like, I'm here by choice, bitch. I'm my mother's blade. And she threatens him with a knife.
Okay, but her mother's blade, does that mean Tatiana, though? Or does that mean...
I don't know, but, like, he was offering to get her away from Tatiana.
Yeah, but maybe she didn't believe in that. Like,
and she was racist. She called him like a stupid warlock who knows nothing and stuff. It was like really mean.
Okay, she was mean. She's a bitch. We hate her. I think she might have some kind of redemption arc.
Yeah, no, she probably will have some sort of redemption arc because, according to the riddle, her last name Cartwright. I honestly think she's like possessed by some sort of demon force.
I could see that.
Because we're talking a lot about possession and
who can possess the body.
Yeah. I think there's something going on there.
What collection is the Midnight Air in? Somebody asks.
It is in the Bane Chronicles.
Okay.
Ooh,
yeah. I haven't read all of the Bane Chronicles either, but I did read the Midnight Air. And from like the first sentence, I was like, oh my God, it's Will. I mean, oh my God, it's James.
Okay. Well, another theory is, what if this girl isn't actually Grace Cartwright? Like, what if she is someone else who said she was Grace Cartwright? And then
well, I want to know like who this girl
marries the real Grace.
I want to know like what happened to her parents because how did she get here? There's a lot of mystery going on with Grace right now.
Unknown stuff. Yeah.
Sure. That bracelet. It's like, why that bracelet? Why, specifically?
I'm also wondering what was if Tatiana wanted James to be wearing the bracelet, then was Grace's whole thing where she like asked James to like go into shadow form and steal the bracelet back for her? Like, was that part of Tatiana's plan?
Yeah.
Like,
yes, that was part of their plan to control him. And she was using like her control then to get him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, hate her.
But there's also I don't know what to believe, because Grace is also, like, Tatiana also hid James's letter from her and, like, let her believe that, like, he wasn't coming to visit during the summer.
I think, like, she's worried about this going too far. So she set this whole thing up, but she doesn't want her to actually develop feelings inside with him instead of her. So she needs to, like, limit how much they actually spend time together and exchange emotional, you know, stuff.
But her touch is, like, what revamps.
Yeah, and I think the bracelet's what keeps it when she's not there. So if it's just like her name or something comes up, he's like, "Oh, Grace, I love her." But we'll see.
Shit.
What?
So ships.
Oh yeah, ships.
Ships. Oh yeah, ships.
Oh man.
Ships. Thomas and Alistair, I think we're all shipping them.
Yeah. I really like, I know it's kind of weird to ship them, but Grace and Jesse, or not Grace and Jesse, Lucy and Jesse. Even though there's like, isn't there like an age difference there though?
No, I mean, he's dead at 16, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, he said he has 2 ages, and like one is 24 and one is only 16, but like, yeah.
Even so, it's not that big of a difference. But
I'm a little bit I was apprehensive about that in the beginning, because I remember mild spoilers for the Dark Artifices, maybe, but I won't do anything seriously. But there's another relationship between a person who is like hiding their relationship with someone. Drew is hiding like her relationship with someone, everyone else, and I was like, that seems suspicious. Like, is he manipulating her? Like, kind of thing. Like, for a while, I thought Jesse was lying about who he was, or that, like, Grace and Tatiana didn't see him, because when he races across the ballroom to like stop Lucy from like saying she can see him, like, did Grace and Tatiana just kind of like watch him run across the ballroom? Like,
yeah, I mean, maybe they were like too worried about like their image because they're out in public.
Yeah, but I was just like, can they actually see him? Like, can anyone else see him? Like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, they can. No one else can see him except for them and her, right? Like,
that's what it seems to be. But James saw him for a brief moment.
Yeah, I think it's because he had his last breath.
Yeah.
And now he's a different kind of ghost. He's not like the same kind of ghost anymore, because that last breath was what was keeping him like physical.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But damn it, we can't talk about everything because Jesse hasn't read the
Sorry.
Someone says, can Jessamine see him? And I don't think she can, because wasn't there a scene where like he was there and Jessamine didn't see him?
No, Jessamine commented like, a boy in your room? That would never happen.
Right.
Yeah. Jessamine's commentary was so fun. She just like pop in to say something vaguely insulting sometimes, and it was great.
She just popped in to be like, when I was alive, I would brush my hair 100 times.
It was great. I'm really looking forward to Matthew's arc. We're just seeing the very beginning of what's happening with him.
Yeah.
And we haven't even delved into, like, I know he's eventually going to have to talk about what we already know about from the short stories with his sister dying. But
so who do we ship Matthew with?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know who to ship him with yet, because I don't know who he has real feelings for yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that they think he has a crush on James, not Cordelia. But I think we really were led to believe that he had a crush on Cordelia through what
I think he definitely has a crush on Cordelia.
Yeah. And I think if he had a crush on James, he'd be in much more pain by now. They've been Parvati for years.
Yeah.
So I think we have to wait and see. Like, people are saying Magnus, but the thing is, he worships Magnus, and I feel like there'd be a weird control power happening there, and they can't.
A weird power imbalance
in that relationship. Yeah. Like, Alec didn't even know Magnus, and it was a completely different situation.
Yeah.
And I think it would be weird, since we're big Malik people. We wouldn't want them to, like, it's also like it goes against the grain of the fan ships to have them with him. And he's not okay.
Are we gonna have Magnus date another Lightwood in the past? Like, isn't that weird?
Yeah, no, it would be weird. But also, like, I think it would be like a mentorship. It would be like like a big brother sort of a thing. because he wants a brother that like is more like Magnus. He doesn't relate to his brother. He doesn't like to talk to him and stuff. And it would be nice to see that. Yeah, I saw a lot of people shipping with Magnus, and I was like, power balance is gonna be weird. He's like a fan.
Little fanboy.
Everyone, Lucy and Matthew, like, Lucy doesn't have feelings for him, so.
Yeah, I think Lucy and Jesse would be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, according to this, but who knows about that, so.
You just froze for me, but I think you said something about the timeline.
I threw it again.
Yes, I agree. Charles was frustrating.
Yeah, I just want Matthew to be happy. I think Matthew has to learn to love himself because he hates himself, and that's what we're gonna see. Like Matthew has to like find himself again and learn to like love himself and take care of himself. And then maybe toward the end, we'll see something.
Learn how to forgive himself.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so guilty about everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What other ships? We got Adrian and Arani and Anna, which will be happening in the next book, hopefully. But I think Grace is going to throw some sort of wrench in there just because of her weird siren powers when she's living with Anna. I mean, living with Adrian. Just don't you think that's how she got to live with them? Because she talked to her and she was like, "Of course you can live with us."
Well, do you want to hear something I heard on Cassie's Tumblr?
No. What is it? Is it spoilery?
I don't think it's spoilery. It's her powers only work on men.
Okay. Oh, that's nice to know. But
Anna is gender fluid, so like, would her powers work on Anna?
I don't know. I feel like Anna's so aware.
Yeah, I don't think Anna would be.
Of people that she.
But it's not about being aware because like when she kissed she made Matthew kiss her.
Yeah, I'm so mad about that. But I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I don't like her living with her. Hopefully it's fine, but I don't like Grace being with anyone. I feel like she could pull anyone into her dark plans.
Yeah.
And I feel like Grace will be like, "Oh, how do you bring people back to life? You have to murder a bunch of people? I'm fine with that." Okay, let's move on here. So, audience, viewers in the chat, peeps in the chat, do you have any questions that you'd like us to talk about? Throw them at us. Jesse, keep an eye on the chat.
Will do. Also, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say we didn't talk about like Thomas and Alistair.
Oh, I think we love them.
Yeah.
I'm really sad for Thomas, though. It's gotta really hurt if he has like a crush on this person, and then he finds out that he was the one that said all this stuff and spread his stuff about his
parents.
I like Alistair as a character. I think his story is like at first we don't. He's just like her annoying brother and stuff. But I like seeing the kind of misunderstood aspect in how he was treated so poorly, and he's like, well, you either be bullied or you be a bully. He would like kind of like fell into that, and like now he does have to do like a whole redemption thing. Like he's trying to make amends, but it's not going to be that easy. So like he's still going to have to work at it, which I like that.
You too.
I have a question that I was going to say to you guys. This is something I was going to bring up earlier, but you told me to save it for the live show. Okay, so Malcolm Fade, his warlock mark is that he has amethyst eyes. He has purple eyes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Christopher has purple eyes. So what's up with that?
Well, are they purple though?
They're lilac. It's described as lilac multiple times. And so if purple eyes are a warlock mark, because that's not a human color, what is Christopher doing with purple eyes?
Give me a second here.
Oh no.
Jesse, you read the first TDA, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys? What is your favorite cameo in this? While we think about this.
First favorite cameo. I mean, Magnus. Does that count?
More than a cameo.
I know he has way more than a cameo. Does Jessamine count?
Yeah, I guess so.
I just love her sassiness.
I liked Ragnarfell showing up and like blatantly calling out Christopher when he came in. He's like, Christopher Lightwood's here. Hide you this, hide you that. And James is like, Christopher's here a lot, and everything remains mostly intact.
Someone says there are blue lilacs. Okay, but if someone says, if you Google the word lilac, you gotta get purple shit.
I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds. Are you suggesting that there was some aren't warlocks sterile so they can't have kids?
Yes, but I'm suggesting that I don't know what's happening.
Okay, well, I think there is a slight chance that it means something, but there's also a chance that she just gave him weird eyes because he's weird.
Yeah, and I think when someone mentioned like lilac being blue, like it might be more of like a purpley blue color. Mm-hmm. But it just really threw me when I was like, when they said Malcolm Fade's warlock mark is that he has purple eyes because that's not a human color, and I was like, wait a minute, but
yeah, maybe he has purple-ish eyes.
Yeah, they might not be like the same purple.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We'll keep an eye on it. Well, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so there is this whole thing about that with him having, so because this sounds like a throwaway line, but now that I think about it more, I think it's not. And I already talked about this in my book talk, but like they talk about how Christopher has this dark charm. He like attracts demons sometimes. And
he had that one demon writing him love letters or something.
Yeah, which is interesting, extremely interesting, because Grace is like actually attracted to him and she doesn't feel anything for anyone except for her dead brother.
She ends up with him.
And ends up with him, supposedly. And maybe he does have some sort of demon blood. What's his last name again? Lightwood?
Well, let's see. His parents are Anna and Alexander Lightwood.
Wait a minute. Hold on. No. We're talking about Christopher. His parents are what's his name? Gideon, or not Gideon. The other one.
According to this, his parents are Anna and Alexander Lightwood.
Christopher? Oh, it's not though. Christopher's parents are Cecily and Gabriel. Yeah, no, according to this, it is Cecily and Gabriel. It's just a long line down to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those are
it looks like the line of a child.
Yeah, it's not. So anyway, so they were born, Gabriel had Benedict as a father. So there's a very good possibility that Benedict had already mixed with demons when he had his kids. And had some demon shit inside of him. I think we're going somewhere with Benedict because they're talking a lot about all his demon shit that he did and mixing. And I think somebody is going to be the child of a demon and a shadow hunter. We already have this with Tessa, but there was like a special situation. I guess Tessa's mom didn't have marks.
Yeah.
But we don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like no one's really experimented that much with different demon pollination happening. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The whole thing of like, okay, so maybe Christopher, maybe he's related to the same demon that fathered Malcolm. Like if it's the purple eyes, like maybe it wasn't a warlock that was his father, but the same original demon, greater demon that Malcolm came from.
Maybe. And maybe like, who knows, like what if Benedict tried to replicate what happened with Tessa?
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past him.
Wouldn't put it past him. So we will see. There's something going on there.
What are your opinions on James and Cordelia's marriage?
I'm so excited because they're gonna end up real married.
They better.
They better.
They definitely will. It's like it's the trope of like arranged marriage to falling in love kind of thing.
Yeah, no, she's given us that, which is very exciting because it's a really fun trope. What do you think? How do you think James will find out the truth about the big bracelet? I think someone's going to take it off and he's going to feel the change again. And he's going to be like, hold up, yo. This correlates with the bracelet. Like in the bracelet says loyalty binds me. And when he has it on, he is eternally loyal to Grace.
I'm just scared of what's going to happen with the bracelet because like I feel like him and Cordelia will build this like strong relationship and then Grace will do something and like get in the way of it and like.
Well, the thing is, obviously,
I know, but it's just like I'm not looking forward to it.
I think it's going to go pretty quick. I think the bracelet has to be discovered pretty quickly. We're too frustrated with it.
I don't think the bracelet is stronger than James's willpower because even when Grace wearing the bracelet and Grace was like, marry me tonight, run away with me, like blah, blah, blah. He still said no. Like he still loved enough about his own life to turn her down to that. So like it doesn't give her complete, total control over him.
Yeah.
So
I have these thoughts where he's like, wow, I'm looking forward to, like, all this sounds great, like marrying Cordelia. So I think he'll find a way to realize what's going on once he's with Cordelia.
There was something that stood out. I think there's more to the story about how Cordelia got her nickname.
Daisy?
Yeah, because there was a weird line about how Grace was like, is that all you remember about it? Like she kind of implied that like, oh, that's the story you remember kind of thing. So like, I wonder if she somehow altered his memory of Cordelia in some ways. Cause like she called him out and said, you're in love with her. He's like, no, it's not like that. But I think he has been in love with Cordelia for a while. And
no, I do too.
She's like really manipulating that.
He said, I love you after like after she saved, what's her name? Lucy. And they were little. How little were they? No, maybe not that little, but little enough. Maybe like 10. Okay, how did you guys feel about the name Daisy?
It was so annoying. I hated it. Worst nickname ever.
We're on the same page there.
I mean, I might change my mind about it if there's like a good story behind it. But the story that we have so far of like, oh, she held it for hours and then fell into a pile of daisies and that's how she got her name doesn't add up, fam.
Yeah. It was ruining the moments for me when he was saying her name. I was like, stop. Call her Cordelia or Layla.
Everyone has too many names.
Will
Cortana cut the bracelet / Grace's power?
That's what a lot of people are asking or saying.
I can see that being a part of it.
I mean, I could see her just like taking it off.
Why cut it when you can just take it off?
Unless you can't take it off. People were like, can you not take it off? But
yeah, it could be.
I mean, it didn't seem to, I don't know. We haven't seen him fiddle with it. So
right.
We'll see if she can't get it off. Maybe someone said maybe love will cut through it. Maybe. True love.
Do you like the TID characters as parents? Yeah, it was really nice to see that.
They're so cute.
I know.
Let's talk about the scenes when James and Cordelia, when he was sick. I love those scenes.
That was nice.
They were really, really cute.
Yes.
Let's do what ship were you not feeling?
I honestly wasn't feeling Anna and
Adrian?
Yeah, but I think it's just because we didn't see that much of it really, and like we only saw the complicated bits of it.
Yeah. So. Did you read the short story?
Which short story?
About her.
Wait, what?
There's a short story about Anna and Adrian.
In what?
In the Shadowhunter Tales of the
Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy?
Of the Market.
Oh no, I haven't read all of that yet.
Okay.
So I need to
I
make
have a little more background there. And everyone who read that had a little bit more background. But basically, like, they kind of fell in love. And then she was like, but I'm engaged and I want a family, so sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, I just need more. Need to see more of it before I can like fully assess things. But
yeah, I was obviously totally not feeling James and Grace.
Obviously.
No.
Not about it.
And I wasn't feeling Matthew with anyone that we saw. So
yeah,
I'm feeling he needs someone else. Why does Matthew always get drunk? Because he's an alcoholic. Because he feels really guilty. He thinks he's a murderer because he thought his mom had cheated and had him as a bastard child with Gideon because they hang out so much, because Alistair spread that rumor at school. And so he got so obsessed with it because he thought his mom had cheated on his father that he went to the Shadowhunter market and he bought a truth potion from like a random fairy vendor. And then he drugged his mother at the dinner table. He put it in her drink. She drank it. She just collapsed. So she could have died. And she was in a coma until the Silent Brothers came and helped her. And then he did not know his mom was pregnant, but he found out that she had lost the baby. She was pregnant, but his mom was going to live. So really sad. And then he was like, I'm a murderer. I killed somebody. Why did I do that? That was so stupid.
Speaking of alcoholic too, it was interesting learning about Cordelia's dad.
Yeah.
Elias? That his name?
Yeah, Elias. Elias.
Or whatever.
I think it's Elias.
Yeah. Elias? I think it's Elias. Just trying to say Elias because of our friend. But that was like a really part of the story.
Yeah, no, that was a really great moment. And I think that's also like, I love Will talking to her about it and kind of just the shared experience of getting older and like realizing that you didn't see half the things that were going on in your parents' lives and like kind of misinterpreted them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Grace and Jesse are not actually related.
Grace and Jesse are not actually related. But it seems that she was there, so she has been with them for a long time.
Well, I just found it says that Grace was 8 when her parents were killed by demons, and that's when Tatiana took her in.
Yeah. Okay,
but that means that she was only with Jesse Blackthorn for 2 years before he died. So, like, they weren't really that.
I was thinking about this like before. I was like, could she actually have a crush on Jesse Blackthorn and like be in love with him?
Yeah.
And that would be like, I took this out of my book talk, but I was like, is that her incest plot in this book?
They're not actually related, and if
yeah, that's what I mean, like fake incest, because it wasn't.
Yeah, and if she was adopted at age 8, and then 2 years later he died, it's not like they were like really raised as siblings.
Yeah, but maybe if she was like so alone, she formed a bond really quickly with him. We don't.
Yeah, she was otherwise completely alone.
Yeah. So we don't know, but there is a thread there that it could be that kind of like she feels romantically attached to him. And that would pose some issues for Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
And make some things very awkward because they're both going to be like working together to bring him back to life. They're both in love with him. It's kind of like that episode of Friends, except highly more dramatic when they wave at that guy and he gets hit by a car and he's in a coma and they're both taking care of him. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how much Jesse's in the next book, if he can still communicate easily with them, or if he's now such a weak kind of ghost that it's hard for him to materialize and that they're cut off from them. He's cut off from them and they're just working blindly to get him back. We'll see.
We shall see.
What?
Oh, never mind.
Should we take a couple more questions and wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You guys can pick.
Wait, Jesse and Lucy are distant cousins.
I think
So
everyone's cousins in the Shadowhunter world. There's like not enough families. I think Cass talked about this before. Like, if you go back, everyone's distantly related because they're obsessed with keeping the bloodlines pure.
That's true.
Yeah. So we have a big ensemble cast. Who are your top 3 characters?
Out of this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, in this ensemble cast.
Okay. Cordelia. Jesse. I really like Jesse's character, not just because we share the same name.
I feel like it's because you share the same name.
God, I really liked his character. I really did. And I'm really drawn to Alistair for some reason. I don't know why, but he's just so complicated.
I feel like
I like him too. Like I said, he has big Draco Malfoy energy in my mind.
Like, I get the things that he's done is not good, but he's also like got a really interesting story. So, yes.
What about you, Kat?
Oh no, I don't know.
You can do it.
I really, it's so hard. Only 3.
3.
Christine, do you have yours yet?
Well, I just wanted to mention that, like, I think Elias coming back into the picture is going to be really interesting, and I want to know more about, like, how did he become an alcoholic? What was the trigger there? What kind of baggage is he dealing with? Like, what is the backstory? And how is that going to affect everyone? Because he's going to be now back in their lives if he's coming home, and it's going to change the dynamic between probably Cordelia and anyone when he's around.
Yeah.
So we'll see. My favorites are, well, James and Cordelia and Matthew.
Wow.
Well, like, I love Matthew, so I really like. I feel like in my book talk, I was like really mad at him, but I still love his character. I feel like he's got a lot of interesting stuff going on, and he's really sweet and really funny. And then Cordelia is awesome, and James is Will Harrendel's son, so
he's basically Will Harrendel.
What do you want from me? I can't pick Will.
You can do it, kitten. Spit it out.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I love James and Cordelia, but I don't think they're in my top 3.
It's okay.
I still love. I want to say Matthew, Anna, and Alistair.
Nice.
I want to know more about Anna. I'm excited. Like, I feel like we're like kind of skirting around the story, and in the next one, hopefully, she gets more involved.
Yeah.
I just liked Anna. I felt like she had kind of like Magnus Bane energy.
That's what I was about to say.
She's just so fabulous and like she brightens the scenes.
This is like Magnus Bane meets Izzy Lightwood energy.
Yes. Oh man.
Very exciting.
Yes.
But I think her and Magnus will really get along, so maybe they'll be friends.
Yes.
I'm so excited for Magnus to just like not weasel his way into everyone's business, but weasel his way into everyone's business. Okay. Well, guys, it's time to wrap it up. But do you think Jesse is Belial's anchor? I don't know. We don't know much about how that works. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us to talk about Chain of Gold. So next month, just to reiterate, we are reading The June Boys by Court Stevens. It's a suspense thriller about the guy who, it's not about the guy who kidnaps the kids, but there's a guy who kidnaps 6 boys every year, and he returns them after being with them for a year. And the cousin of our lead character has been taken, and people are turning up dead this year, which never usually happens. So it's going to be intense. And then in May, we're reading We're the Wildcats. And this is another like 24-hour suspense novel, which is going to be really exciting. Hopefully you join us. Dear Booksplosion is April 15th. It'll be here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and hope you stay safe. I'm Christine.
I'm Kat.
I'm Jesse. Bye, guys.
Bye.